Hey everybody, welcome back to the YouTube channel. We are so excited to be at Towson today, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything and click the bell so you get the notifications, hooray! But we are here with a YouTuber that I found online because I was like, Towson University has to have some cool YouTube action, and I found Taylor. And you started with Hannah Montana video lyrics. Yeah. Or song lyrics.
Yep, Hannah Montana songs, I would make the lyrics videos to them. You know, you always wonder who makes those, but people like me in 5th grade.
I love that. And then you took a break, went back to it, and then played on that following. So anyways, you took a break from YouTube, and then you went back to it because you had this big following of like 20,000 plus, and now you're doing all kinds of cool content. So we're going to make sure, Taylor, to link all of your stuff here because I definitely want everyone to follow you. I think they'll be super inspired.
Oh, thank you.
And so for today's video, I thought that our viewers would want to know how you do this. Like, how do you go to high school or to college and have a YouTube page? So many people want to do it, but there's a difference between wanting to do it and actually doing it. So can you kind of take us through like some of your tips and tricks on how you deal with everything you deal with in the outside world and then also handle the YouTube world?
Definitely. So I would say when it comes to getting started, you just have to kind of not care what people think, because there's always going to be people that are going to judge you, there's always going to be haters, but you just kind of have to put that to the side and say, you know what, I want to make YouTube videos, so I'm just going to do it. That's what I did. I just kind of wung it, and was wung a word? Anyway, yeah, so I just posted my first YouTube video, and so far all the reactions from my friends have all been positive, and no one has said anything mean to me in person. They may talk behind my back, but I wouldn't know about it. But you just have to not care. People are gonna want to be judgmental, but you know, if you do you, what can they say?
So you have, I mean, you have classes, you have homework, you have tests, I'm sure you have essays that you have to write. Yeah. Like, how do you do all of that and then manage to like do your Instagram and upload on YouTube and all of that?
It's definitely really hard. Because I have a YouTube channel, I'm in college, I'm in a sorority, and I play volleyball.
Sorority life, yeah.
So on top of everything, it gets really hard to manage my time, and I'm really bad at time management, but I have found that if I do have the time to film a couple videos, definitely take advantage of that. Whenever you have free time, try to get ahead so that you can, you know, pre-film, pre-record, and then release the videos weekly, because consistency is really important. So whenever I do have, you know, winter break or spring break, I try to build up a couple videos. One year I got 5 videos built up, and that lasted me 5 whole weeks of just being able to focus on school.
That's nice, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
That's like Intern Queen style. We like crank them out. We pile those up.
So any time that you have any extra time, you have to take advantage of that.
You have to have a lot of skills. Like, you have to have a creative eye. You have to know about lighting. Like, what are some of the things that you think young people need to know about before they start YouTube? Is it editing software? Like, what are the basics?
Definitely. There's a lot of things that go into making a YouTube video have good quality. One of the biggest things is lighting. That's really important. And a lot of people don't know that you can just take advantage of natural lighting. That's what I always like to do. I did buy a ring light, but I don't like to use it because just natural lighting is always the best. So just be facing a window. Right. Don't film behind a window.
Be facing a window.
Yeah,
I need to remember that because I am not good at all that stuff.
Yeah, and also with editing, just make sure that you cut out unnecessary things. I think videos tend to drag when you see someone just pause and kind of fix their hair. Yeah. Just be like, so anyway. And also,
you try to get rid of those.
Yeah, and another thing that I like to do when I'm editing is I try to cut out unnecessary words, because sometimes I start off by saying and then I go into what I say, which is a bad habit. I need to kick that. But you can cut out unnecessary words if you always tend to start off by saying something like that.
And so how long does it take you? Like, for the, let's say, not so much for shooting the video, but for editing it. Like, how much time do you have to block out in your day to get a video done?
It definitely
Speaking of which, I'm like,
depends. It definitely depends on the video. I'm in a production class right now, and he says that for every hour of filming that you have, you're gonna have triple the amount of time to edit. I would say it definitely takes at least triple the amount of time it took you to film the video, because you have to watch the footage, you have to go through, you have to make cuts, you have to do fun edits if you wanna, you know, zoom in on the face.
So if it takes you a half hour, let's say, to film a video, then it's gonna take you 3 times that long to actually edit the video, which is probably about right.
Yeah.
When in your like day in the life of a college student are you gonna do that? Do you wake up early to do it? Do you do it at like nap time? Do you do it late at night?
I tend to do it in between classes, because then I'm already ready. I like to get ready for my day and, you know, do my hair and makeup so I look presentable, and I have a purpose for, you know, looking nice. So I find it really hard for me just to get ready for a video, because I'm like, what am I doing this for? Just to film for 30 minutes, and then if I already have plans in the day, I try to fit it in between. And I'm most productive when I'm really busy anyway. Like,
I'm the same way. If I have like so much going on, I'll get something done, but if I have nothing going on, nothing's happening.
Yeah, and then I know I can just push it off. I'm like, oh, I have so much time, I'll just do nothing.
So let's say that we have a lot of our viewers are super involved, either at high school or on their college campus, right? So they have class, they have their extracurriculars, maybe they're working, but they're really passionate about starting YouTube. Like, what are the 3 things that you think they should do right now to get started?
Number 1, I would say find an inspiration, someone that really inspires you. Look at how they make their videos and see how they interact with their fans. Analyze what they do and try to make it your own, so that you have something that you're kind of going off of, because that's what I did. Obviously you want to be original, but you know, everyone is always bouncing off of each other with ideas and technique, so that's a good way to start, because you'll eventually develop on your own, but you can just start by finding someone who really inspires you. Tip number 2, make sure that you put a lot of time into your videos and your content. So just make sure you put time into figuring out the camera, the lighting, the editing, you know, take your time with it. And then tip number 3 would just be finding the time to do all of this. Maybe plan out a schedule where you film every time the same day of the week.
Every day at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I
was like, every day at the same time.
Every day at the same time. So just kind of find the time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think these tips are great, and hopefully our viewers can take these and just go start, because we can talk about YouTube all day, but you just gotta start. I mean, I found myself talking about it for like years, and I just needed to start. And once you start, hopefully you don't stop and it just keeps going. So
yeah, and don't get discouraged if your first videos aren't as good as you hope they would be. It takes some time to get used to talking to a camera, because it's really different than normal human interaction, because you're just talking to a camera. So try to get some practice with it.
And one more question for you, because I know our viewers are wondering, so you have quite a nice following there, right? And I guess my question is, I think a lot of people are nervous that they're gonna start and like no one's gonna watch their stuff and no one's gonna like it. And maybe what people sometimes don't understand is that it takes time.
Yeah.
Right? It takes time for these things to grow and to gain a following. So what's your best advice for someone who's maybe dabbled in YouTube or blogging or Instagram and is struggling to gain that following?
I would say you just have to keep trying. Things don't happen overnight, and you never know what video is going to take off. For me, the most random videos that I'd never expected to blew up, and the ones I thought, oh, this is a great video, it did barely anything. So you just never know. And another thing is just to be consistent, because with the YouTube algorithm, it will recommend you more and more if you're consistent, if you post relatable titles. There's so many things that go into it, so you just have to keep putting out content, keep trying. Don't just give up if you get 12 views on your first video.
All right, well, thank you so much. And where can people find you if they want to follow along?
You can find me at my YouTube channel. It's just my name, Taylor Leos.
And everything will be below too.
Yeah, everything will be linked below. And my Instagram is tay.marie. So that's pretty much the main social platforms that I use. And I have everything else, but you can find it all on my YouTube channel. So.
Yeah, so please follow Taylor. Her stuff is awesome. We know you're gonna like it. So go check her out. And if you have any questions for Taylor, just leave them in the comments below. Bye everybody.
Thanks so much. Bye.